Thanks to the supporters of channel member Xander Suster. Oh, I tell you what, boys and girls, times are good here at Brighton. We are top of the Premier League at the halfway point of the season, and the January transfer window is just about to open. We've got £135 million to spend, and we've already got one wonder kid on the way in. I think there's a chance we might win the league. Hello and welcome to part 14 of my FM24 Beta Save with Brighton. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have a top-of-the-table clash against Tottenham, which is a weird sentence to say in and of itself. We also play Wolves in the Premier League. Between the two, our first signing of January should arrive, you'll notice. We've actually only got £70 million of our transfer budget left. That's because the first £69 million of it has gone on Usman Diamonde. I'm going to have to learn how to say both parts of his name, but he's joining us. £69 million, had a minimum fee release clause with Sporting, and he is coming in to be a proper upgrade for us at centre-back. He is the long-term Lewis Dunk replacement. He's better than anyone we've got at centre-back at the moment. It does mean that with our careful squad building that we've been doing, we do need to probably move somebody on, but that's not necessarily a problem because Per Schurz is attracting interest. Federico Gatti is attracting interest. Gatti is probably the one that I'd want to move on. He's the one who's not really settled into the team as well as Schurz has and has only started in his now year at the club. He's only started 7 games. So if we can get our money back, never mind making a profit on him, we'll definitely be letting him go. But since you were last with me, form has been absolutely bonkers. Where were we last episode? We played quite a lot of matches. I think we did Bournemouth and Bayer Leverkusen in the last episode. We've not lost a game since then. The closest we've got was a draw against Manchester United, but we have just been in great form, both in the Premier League and the Conference League. The Conference League, we won the league stage comfortably. There was never any doubt at all. Only conceded 2 goals all the way through, and we just were very, very solid in that. But our Premier League form, even better, because obviously better quality opposition in the Premier League, and there we are, top of the league, 19 games played. We are at the halfway point, 43 points on the board. Spurs, who we play today, a couple of points behind us. Chelsea and Arsenal chasing as well. I've got no idea what's happened to Manchester City. Down in 8th place, Pep Guardiola, inexplicably, still in charge at City. It's not as if they've sold a load of players. I don't know that they've done anything particularly nutty. It just isn't really going for them this season. They've got De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva and Erling Haaland all shattered and in need of a rest. It's just not clicking at Manchester City for whatever reason, whereas with us, things are definitely clicking. I don't know why my squad view is not working. Again, it seems to be an FM24 thing, but our front four, kind of regardless of who we put in it, has been brilliant. If we go through them one by one, Lille Abada, who came in to play on the right wing for us this year, he is... What have I done there? What can we... Let's click on him again. He is our starting right winger. He's played 15 games, 9 goals, 3 assists, averaging a 7.39. On the left-hand side, it's sometimes Leon Bailey, who's got 18 appearances, 2 goals, 2 assists. More often than not, though, it's Ansu Fati, who's injured today, who has 6 goals, 6 assists, 4 man of the matches, and a 7.2 average. Emile Smith-Rowe has been brilliant. 19 appearances, 9 goals, 5 assists, a 7.46 average. If it's not him, it's Sunset, who hasn't yet scored in the league, but does have 9 goals in 11 appearances in the Conference League, where he has been absolutely phenomenal, averaging a 7.8 in Europe. Up front, Evan Ferguson is starting to score goals, 6 goals from 12 appearances, a 7.13. And of course, we've still got Tammy Abraham knocking around, who's got 9 goals, 4 assists, and a 7.43 average. Whoever we play in this attack, sometimes it's even Hendrick, and he's started scoring as well. He scored in his most recent game. Our attack is phenomenal. So all we're really looking to do in this January is strengthen up the other areas of the team that aren't quite as strong as our attack, just to see if we can get over this finish line. We didn't plan to win the league this year, but when you're top of the table at New Year's, you probably have to maybe have a go. So Diamonde is going to be an upgrade at the back. We're probably going to let Gatti go and go with Dunk and Diamonde as our starters, maybe even Diamonde and Schurz, although Diamonde is another right footer, I think, like Schurz. Let me just, I assume he is. I think he is. Yeah, so he's not necessarily going to be the Dunk replacement yet, and we certainly can't move Dunk out of the squad, even though he's 33, because we need him in there as a homegrown player. Then if we could get another midfielder in, that just strengthens up that area as well. Although, to be fair, in central midfield, we've got so much potential. Andre, Vermeeren, Pizarro have all got plenty of potential. Or Pizarro less so, but Vermeeren and Andre are both going to be superstars. So we could not just apply a little bit of patience there, but we've got money to spend. Who needs to be patient when we've got money to spend and the chance to win the league now? It's exciting times. It really is exciting times. Of course, the excitement is dulled somewhat if we go to Spurs, lose this match, and they end up top of the league at the end of 90 minutes. So this is our team for the Spurs game. We've got Lucas Perry in goal, a back four of Estupinian, Dunk, Schurz, and Boselli, Berg and Andre in midfield, Bailey, Smith-Rowe, and Abada then supporting Evan Ferguson up front. Let's get these boys submitted into the team and go to Spurs, win a football match, and start to open up a little bit of a gap at the top of the league. That would be lovely. In the form we're in, who knows what might happen? We've got the best goal difference in the league by miles. It's not just that we're scraping results. We're steamrolling teams quite regularly. I don't know if we're going to be able to do it to Spurs, but goodness me, wouldn't it be nice if we could? I'll answer that for you. It would be lovely. And here we are with a short corner, a pervert corner. It's going to be Bailey to try and make something for it. Plays it into Berg, tries to give it back to Bailey, and now it's back with Berg again. They're faffing around with this a little bit, and it's not really got anywhere. The first 20 minutes of this game must have been pretty disappointing for this to be a highlight. Although that being said, we are maintaining possession and might yet make something of it. Although it's now back with our defenders back in our half. But now Andre with the chance. In fact, as Solly March got himself sent off. That is delicious if he has. Solly March, of course, going to Spurs in the summer for £40 million. It's taken him 20 minutes. Little bit overexcited there. Got himself sent off. And that opens the door for us to establish that little bit of a gap at the top of the league. We're playing most of this game against 10 men. A win here, we're 5 points clear at the top. And that would be a jolly nice position to be in. Estupinian on the left-hand side floats the crossover looking for Ferguson. But Vicario collects comfortably in goal for Spurs, and they're going to, I guess, look to try and calm things down a little bit and have a little bit of a regroup. But Smith-Rowe has got other ideas, wins the ball back. Ferguson wellies it out to Boselli on the right-hand side. We do some weird stuff, but it does seem to be working for us. I'm not really sure why Ferguson felt the need to basically clear it, but it did end up with a Brighton player, and we did end up getting a chance on goal and hit the post off the back of it. So we're a strange team, but it does seem to be working for us. Still 0-0 though. I'm not for a little bit of encouragement, because when you're playing against 10 men, forget the fact we're away from home. We're against 10 men. We should be smelling blood here and going for them. But at the moment, we're not. Although we have had the best of that first half, just not been able to convert any of the chances that we've had. But of course, as discussed pre-match, we've got firepower on the bench. If we need to bring Tammy Abraham on, he's there. We don't have Ansu Fati today, but we do have João Pedro, who's been very good in Europe, as has Sunset. So we've got options to come on and try and grab us a goal if it doesn't look like we're going to conjure something up with the boys that are on the pitch. We're well below our XG today. Rare poor performances from Smith-Rowe and Ferguson, who've been in great form on this most recent run, but it falls to Abada, and that is a rare miss from him as well. I wonder if we're getting a little bit bottly here because we can see the opportunity that's been presented in front of us and we're a little bit afraid to just step up and take it, but let's go for it. João Pedro is coming on. We're also going to bring on Sunset and put Smith-Rowe out onto the left-hand side, and I think we also bring on Tammy Abraham here as well and just go with a completely different arrangement of front four to try and prove the point I was making pre-match, that we've got so many options in the attack that if someone has an off day, we can just rotate things around, try different combinations and still be huge goal threats. It's been a long time since we've had a match where we didn't score a goal. Andre tries to slot it through to João Pedro, and that's another very good save from the Spurs keeper, and he is proving to be quite the frustration for us today, and we are trying another short corner. We're not doing exclusively short corners. We've got that mix that we've talked about in previous episodes. near post, far post, and short, the fact that it's only the short ones that are showing in the highlights suggests that the other type of corners that we're trying aren't really working. Although we are trying one here, a Stupinian, I think, is going far post because nobody's at the near. Tammy Abraham should be lurking at the far, but Vicario is just dealing with the crosses very comfortably all day long. He's had a very good game for Spurs today, and that is unfortunate for us. Right, we've got 2 more substitutions to make. Who's going to come on and change the game for us? We don't really have any attacking substitutes to bring on. That's not ideal. We're going to bring on Arthur Vermeeren, and I think we take off Estupinian and bring on Valley as well, who can offer something going forward on that left-hand side. We're going to have a little bit more encouragement. I'm a little bit worried going attacking because Spurs are such a good team. There's a sentence you don't usually hear me say. We've absolutely dominated them. They've not even had a shot. I think what's actually happened is they've gone down to 10 men and just parked the bus, which has frustrated us. But ultimately, it is a good result. We've come to Spurs, top of the table clash. We've not lost, and we've left still top of the table. So I guess that's good. Meanwhile, Arsenal in third place have just scored 7 goals. So we've certainly not sewn the league up just yet, but at least we didn't lose, eh? Who are we playing next? Let's hope it's somebody we can go and beat. Wolves, and we should have our shiny new defender in place for that game as well. Not that that's going to help us score goals. Is that the first time all season we've not scored a goal? First time since Spurs, so maybe Spurs are a little bit of a bogey team for us, actually, which makes that result look even better than it was. We'll put a spin on it. Well, this is both scary and really encouraging all in one go. We've had the Real Madrid offer for Evan Ferguson, £55 million, total up to £58 million with add-ons and whatnot. We'd have to persuade him to join them. He doesn't even want to go. So maybe we get to keep Evan Ferguson. Wouldn't that be super? What's also super is our new boy, who's not even quite here yet, Usman Diomande, has just won African Young Footballer of the Year. Leon Bailey has won North American Player of the Year. We've got a player in the North American Best 11, which presumably is Bailey. Yeah, there he is on the right-hand side. But Evan Ferguson has just said, nah, not that bothered about going to Real Madrid, which is super duper. I wonder if we can convince, not him, he's the one who's already coming in. Hang on. Why can't I see the guy? Has he already agreed to go to Paris Saint-Germain? Oh my word. That happened remarkably quickly. We only just put the offer in for this guy, and before I even knew it, he'd signed for Paris Saint-Germain. I don't even know that we had the opportunity to offer him a contract. That's madness. Well, we're not signing him. That all happened in the space of maybe an hour, but let's hope that we've got our new boy in. Where is he? Does he turn up? Tottenham want to land Andre. I bet they do. I bet they do. There's lots of clubs who are going to be interested in lots of our players, but that's going to be the big challenge for this January. Not only have we got loads of money to spend, but we also need to try and keep this squad together while there's loads of clubs lurking for our superstars. But look at that guy. What a signing that is. Look at those physicals. He is a big, strong boy. He is our best centre-back by a million miles. Also, probably our record signing as well. Yeah, there you go. Confirmation that he is our record signing. And now we just need to work out who we're going to sell. My director of football's trying to... Yeah, I mean, seriously? We've just signed a defender. You're all right, Mr. Director of Football. Have we got any offers in for anyone else here? A Stupinian maybe going to Saudi Arabia? I wouldn't be against that. Valley is a very good young player who I'd like to give more game time to. Smith Rowe is one player of the month. There's a lot going on here. It's all action, this game, isn't it? Goodness me. Oh, Hendrick was only on loan for 6 months. Did we know that when he came? I did try and sign him permanently. He wasn't having any of it. I guess we only brought him in for a short-term loan so that we could have a replacement for Ferguson while he was injured at the start of the season. It's all coming back to me now. There's no point calling these guys back because we can't fit them into our European squad, and it will just cause arguments, cause players to be upset, and we don't want that. And on that note, actually, we do need to decide which defender to maybe try and ship out. I mean, the logical one is Gatti. There's interest in him. He's further down the pecking order than Shares. It can't be Dunk, and why would it be Beraldo or Baselli? Because they're good youngsters. So if we can find somebody interested in Gatti, how much should we pay for him? 17.5 million. I'd be happy just getting my money back. But if we could find someone who'll maybe offer £36 million, that would be very Brighton-y and very super. And hopefully he goes. Meanwhile, apparently Thiago Almada has returned from his loan, so we need to try and ship him out because there's no room for him in the European squad either. We've just invited an offer from Boca for £19 million, so hopefully he goes as well. We could end up, despite having all this money to spend, doing another transfer profit in January because we're Brighton and it's just unavoidable, apparently. But in the meantime, we'll address all that in the next episode. This one, we're just going to focus on beating Wolves. So Diomande comes straight into the team to play alongside Dunk at centre-back. Valley's going to start at left-back while there are rumours around Estupinian. And otherwise, it is the same team that was in the previous match, I believe. So let's just get the squad number handed out to Diomande. Lucky number 13. I mean, we auto number. Don't read anything into it. It's fine. It's obviously the number that he wanted, but he is straight in there as that ball playing defender. Big physical presence will hopefully offer more of a threat from set pieces as well for us going forward and just make us that little bit more defensively solid. We've not been as porous at the back this year as we have been previously, but I mean, there he is straight away, getting on the end of a cord. Oh, I'm going to enjoy him, I think. But it is certainly an area of the squad that probably needs to be strengthened more than any other at the back, or at least needed to be. I would still like the long-term replacement for Lewis Dunk, but we've got to be very careful to not force Dunk out before his time because he's homegrown at club and we don't really have anyone to step into that role to replace him. So what we probably need to do is bring in, if we haven't got anyone coming through our youth team, and we haven't, last year's youth intake was trash, maybe bring in some 18-year-olds who become homegrown at club eventually to fill that squad spot. Obviously, Enciso fits that role, but I mean, I know the ongoing thing is we should be playing Enciso, but honestly, where? Look at the way we play. Look at our attack. I went through player by player, the first choice and reserve for the entire attack. And Enciso wasn't any of them. You've seen they're all having cracking seasons. Where there's no way to fit him in. So I suspect he's one that actually might move on, even though he's going to become homegrown at club, because he's just forever grumpy that he doesn't play, but also forever training poorly, never seems to actually improve. Obviously, when we see him in matches, he shows little snippets of how good he could become. But I think he's very much a player that you just have to make a decision to go all in on and force him into the team regardless. Similar to what I've done with Evan Ferguson. There was no logic behind dropping Tammy Abraham after the start to the season he had, other than Ferguson is fit again and Ferguson is the player we are trying to push to become a superstar. I could have taken the same tactic with Valley's picked up an injury. I could have taken the same tactic with what's his face? I can't even remember his name. Enciso, that's his name. But you know, I feel like I can only do it to one at a time. And me and Evan have got previous after what happened in the world record stream. Have they just substituted their goalkeeper? Because, a goalkeeper injury. Okay. That makes a little bit more sense. Liverpool scoring goals for fun thing. Isn't it Birmingham that Arsenal just put 7 past and now Liverpool have put 6 past? Birmingham are not having a very nice time in the Premier League. 22 games in, they have got 1 point. They should never have been promoted. Oh my word, poor old Birmingham. Right, let's make a couple of changes. We've got a lot of tired legs. We've played a lot of football. Vermeeren's going to come on in midfield, and we're also going to take off at least one of these guys. I mean, Smith Rowe's the obvious one because he's so injury prone. We could probably take off more and do all 5 changes there. If we were more than 1 goal up, I would. But when we've only got the 1 goal advantage, you've always got the danger that you could pick up a knock, although I'm now being recommended to take off Evan Ferguson, so Tammy can come on for him. And then I guess as my final one, João Pedro can come on the left. He's another one who, I mean, you could argue Enciso could have been on the bench and come on there, but then we get rid of João Pedro, and João Pedro's great and can play up front as well, which Enciso can't really do. So he gives us that little bit of extra flexibility as a player sat on the bench because he can cover all 4 of the attackers. The squad's too good. That's the problem we've got. We've got too many good players, but at the end of the day, we are top of the league. So I guess that makes it okay. Estupinian, great work from him. Doesn't seem to be suffering from having clubs showing an interest in him, creating all sorts of stuff. And now he's going to try and hit a set piece. Liverpool are now 8-1 up away from home at Birmingham. Can we just, there should be a way. There you go. Tammy's back. Tammy's back in the team, back doing what he was doing at the start of the season, being 6'5" and enjoying corners. But there must be a thing with Birmingham where, just for the sake of their fans and what they're having to go through, just let them get relegated partway through the season. There must be someone down in the Championship who's willing to do half a season in the Premier League just to have a go. Because Birmingham, it's not fair anymore. They're just upsetting people unnecessarily. Right, Dunk plays it forward to Vermeeren. Vermeeren back to Dunk. And now Vermeeren again. And now it's Abada. And he's got Walker-Peters on the overlap if he wants to use him. Vermeeren now floating it across to João Pedro. Walker-Peters is actually the right-back position in general is a position I would like to do an upgrade on, similar to what we've done at centre-back with Diamonde. But with him being a homegrown in-nation player, again, when it comes to that European squad building, it does have that added complication of it needs to be someone who's homegrown, and there isn't really anybody who's homegrown in England who can play right back, who is a significant upgrade over Walker-Peters. I mean, I know we could keep Walker-Peters in as a backup to whoever comes in to replace him, but then Boselli, who is a wonder kid, loses his squad spot. So it would kind of have to be bring in someone better than Walker-Peters, and then Walker-Peters leaves the squad, or Boselli goes out on loan, I guess would be the other way to do it. But the squad building is pretty challenging. It's the thing you notice when you're at a club that doesn't necessarily have that awesome youth system. If you're managing one of the really big clubs, a Chelsea, an Arsenal, a Man City, whoever it might be, you've always got those young players coming through the youth team. So the squad building is less difficult. When you're at a club like Brighton and there's very few homegrown at club players, it is a little bit more challenging to stick to a 25-man squad whilst trying to bring in youngsters to develop as well. But you know what? It's like moaning your wallet's too heavy, isn't it? We're clear at the top of the Premier League, and we've got so much money to spend in the summer, in the January, right now. It's madness. And I'm going to go and try and spend some before tomorrow's episode. It is easier said than done. I'm genuinely struggling to find a way to spend all this money. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.